The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network. Any questions or concerns about what is said should be directed to the show host, whose information will be provided upon request.
Welcome to the Breakfast Mojo.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Shane Harden from No BS, No Holds Breakfast Talk Show, only here exclusively on the WBGR Sports Network. I'm coming at you live on this nice Saturday morning. Before Christmas? At least 4 days before Christmas. I know everybody's probably on the move for the holidays. Some of you are at home right now, but for those of you who are watching this stream right now, I want you to go to WBGRsports.com to watch the show. Of course, look at it on Facebook. It's at Facebook Live. And then for those of you who are on my page, I want you guys to go ahead and go to my page and watch it as well. So, there's going to be a number of different things to talk about this morning. So, the number to call this morning, you're going to see that above, is going to be 301-429-9247. That's going to be the number to call. So, share, comment. I want you guys to give me some feedback. I want you guys to get into it this morning because we're going to have a lot to talk about because, unfortunately, it's unprecedented, some of the things we saw in sports this week, especially with the crap I just saw these past couple of weeks. So, we're going to talk about the games of the week. Okay, we're definitely going to talk about that because we have to talk about, 3 big games that I picked this week that I felt like are going to be big games. Then we're going to talk about these guys right here, Wilder versus Tyson Fury. That's going to be very, very interesting to watch because of the fact that we're finally going to get this rematch. Finally. For you boxing fans, I'm a diehard boxing fan. Everybody who knows me, so everybody knows I love boxing. Then, of course, right here, we're going to talk about the Heisman, and who I thought should have got the Heisman instead of Joe Burrow. But, hey, who am I? I'm just a guy that's just analyzing the situation. Okay? And then we're going to talk about the state of the NBA, okay? We're going to talk about the state of the NBA because of the fact that, it's a little shaky right now, especially since we all saw that Lakers loss the other night because we all saw LeBron get beat by Giannis and the Antetokounmpo brothers. So, it is what it is. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So, we're going to talk about it. So, let's go to the games of the week. So, the games of the week. I got 3 games that I didn't chose, okay? I chose 3 games this week. Let's start with that first one. The Patriots and Bills. This is a big game. It's going to be today. The reason why I'm going to talk about this game is because this is a very pivotal game for both teams. Because for New England, they can't afford to lose this game, right? Because they're 11-3. They're first in the AFC East. They already beat the Buffalo Bills already, right? Now, both teams lost to the Ravens. So, no matter what, if New England happens to drop this game, they will have to win out, but they will not lose the tiebreaker in the division because of the fact that the Patriots already beat them earlier in the season. So, then it'll come to a margin of victory. If the Bills cannot put up no more than 6 points for the spread, then unfortunately Buffalo will lose the AFC East to New England if New England wins out and the Buffalo Bills win today's game. Now, let's talk about both teams because I want people to understand, the stats that comes with both teams, okay? So, according to ProReference.com, and I want people to understand something, okay? So, according to that, the Patriots right now 11-3, okay? The Buffalo Bills are 10-4. Right now, the Patriots they only gave up 181 points this whole year. That's literally less than 12 points. 12 points per game. First in the NFL. No team in the history of the NFL has done that. Okay? Not even the great Seattle Seahawks or the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of teams, they only giving up 12 points per game. Okay, that's unprecedented. Nobody's ever seen that before. Okay, they're number one in many statistical categories. Yards, points allowed, first downs. They don't even allow many first downs. However, on the ground, and this is where it gets a little funky, the Patriots are 7th in yards. Okay, they're first in the pass, but they're 7th in yards. So that tells me they can be definitely ran upon. Okay, I want people to understand that. They can be run upon. This is a team that they're usually very good against the pass, but against the run, they're just a tiny bit shaky. Okay, and we all knew that going into this game, right? We already knew that going into this game. Now, right now, obviously, the Patriots offense is a little sluggish. Tom Brady's thrown for 3,565 yards and 21 touchdown passes and 7 interceptions this year. So for every touchdown he's thrown, for every 3 touchdowns he's thrown an interception. So he's still doing pretty good for a 42-year-old quarterback, and everybody could talk about, his age and stuff like that. But what it comes down to is the running game. The running game just has not been there all year long. Sonny Michel has only 742 yards on the season so far. And in order for him to even remotely get 1,000 yards this year, he'll have to start carrying the load a little bit more. He's only averaging 53 yards a game. He's got 6 rushing touchdowns this year. He leads the team in rushing touchdowns. But right now, Julian Edelman is leading the team in yards with 1,019 yards. Is it receiving yards on 92 catches? James White's got 588 yards and 65 catches this year for the New England Patriots. I mean, the Patriots this year, we already know what's been going on with them. We know that N'Keal Harry, we haven't really seen much of him, but he's starting to come along in games, so that's going to be a good thing because in the Bengals game, it's very obvious what happened, and we're now going to start seeing a little bit more of that. But the thing is you don't waste a first-round pick on a receiver unless you know he's going to be great, right? So with that being said, I'm pretty sure there's something to be said. Then let's look at the Buffalo Bills, okay? Now, the Buffalo Bills ain't no slouch, okay? They ain't no slouch football team, and I'm going to explain why they ain't no slouch. Because the truth is, this is a team that was number 3 in the NFL, okay? This is a team that, these guys, are on a whole nother level. Sean McDermott, most certainly, is coach of the year, because this was a team that everybody wrote off. Everybody wrote them off. Nobody cared about the Buffalo Bills. It is what it is. I mean, Bills fans, you have to understand, nobody gave you guys a chance because nobody thought that you would be here. That's just reality. Okay? Right now, defensively, they're allowing almost 15 points. Just under 15 points a game. 2nd in the NFL. Okay? Can't beat that. But their offense is 22 in the NFL, so they don't put up a lot of points, but they also don't give up a lot of points either. So, the defense in third down conversions, they're 6% on third down. So, they're number 6 in the NFL in third down conversions. So they don't allow teams to really beat them on third down. But in the red zone, they are 19 in the NFL. So for the New England Patriots, if you get into the red zone, you're most likely going to score. Now, the thing is, since they're playing in New England, this is going to be a bit of a tough matchup because Buffalo has yet to beat New England in New England since 1999. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since Buffalo beat. It's been a long time since New England lost at home to the Buffalo Bills. So, with that being said, let's look at the stats for Josh Allen. So, Josh Allen so far, 2,876 yards, 18 touchdown passes, 9 picks. He's just coming along. He's just finally starting to get into his groove a little bit. Frank Gore, right now, 2nd on the team in yards with 573 yards. He's averaging 3.6 yards per carry. But Devin Singletary, with 729 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Okay, and on top of that, this man is averaging 5.4 yards per carry. Josh Allen this year has 9 rushing touchdowns. So, and that's mainly because he gets into the red zone and he pretty much punches it in because he's such a large quarterback, standing at about good 6. standing at a good like 6'2", 6'3", little over 240 pounds. This is a big kid. I mean, Josh Allen ain't no slouch. So, I mean, and of course they run the read options. Yeah, is it 6'4", 6'5", 240 pounds. And I mean, when you got a guy who could just punch it in for you, you could do a lot of different things. This is a team that last year didn't do so well, but this year they're a little bit of a better football team. They're 10-4. Got a chance to finish either 11-5, or 12-4. And get some wins, get themselves into the playoffs, and this will be the second time they've gotten to the playoffs within the past 3 years, and it'll be something to see because of the fact that the Buffalo Bills is right there. Can they beat New England? It's possible, but unlikely because the Patriots are playing at home. They're playing with a sense of urgency. They want that first round bye, and because they want that first round bye, and they don't want to give it up to Kansas City. They don't want to give that up to Kansas City because, see, the thing is the Patriots only has 3 losses. And one of those 3 losses came from Kansas City. If they lose to the Bills, they will still win the division if they win out. But then the problem is that means they would have to give it up to Kansas City in order to, and I say this again, in order to secure the first round bye. Kansas City will get the first round bye, and then New England will have to face a wild card team. They will get a home game, but they will have to face a wild card team, and let's be real, New England Patriots right now, they can't afford that because the problem is they have too many injuries. They don't want to have to deal with that. So with that being said, I've got the Patriots winning this one. Is it more likely than not? More likely than not. Is it 33-20? That's my final score in this one. It's 33-20. Because Bills, they might put up some points because we all know the Patriots have a problem stopping the run. But if the Bills decide they want to try to outgun Tom Brady, it's going to be a long day because Defensive Player of the Year, my man Stephon Gilmore, he's got 6 interceptions and 2 of them returned for touchdowns. And if he picks off another one, it ain't going to end well. So, that being said, I got New England win this one 33-20. Now, Let's go to the next game. Next big game. Eagles and how about them Cowboys? So let's talk about the Cowboys, ladies and gentlemen. So the Cowboys right now, they're 7-7, so the Eagles are 7-7 as well. The Eagles, when they're healthy, they're a very good football team. They're an excellent football team, actually, right? The problem with the Eagles, and I've been saying this for the longest, is the Philadelphia Eagles have to have one job. Okay? They got one job. Their one job comes down to is this. They would have to, and I'm saying this just to, let people know exactly what they're dealing with here. The Eagles will most certainly have to be in a situation where, one, they have enough guys to throw the football to because, unfortunately, with the way they've been playing, Carson Wentz has been having some issues. Now, I know Eagles fans might disagree with me, but I'm like, Carson Wentz has been having some issues because he ain't got no pass catchers. Let's just be honest about it, okay? And because he doesn't have any pass catchers, he's going to have to figure out who's going to catch the football. Okay? Who's going to catch the ball? Because the problem is, I can tell you right now, if I'm an Eagles fan and I'm looking at the facts, the facts is this: I'm not going to put myself in a situation where Carson Wentz is going to turn over the football to that team because Dallas right now, they're hot. They're a hot football team. Let's just be honest about it. They're a hot football team. They're the type of team that you don't want to get too hot right now because the problem is Dallas right now, let's be honest, is it Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, Randall Cobb is starting to come along, but Michael Gallup has been really the X factor. He's really been showing up because the security blanket, Jason Witten, is still there, but this team can finish 9-7. Now, if they finish 9-7, then the Cowboys win the division. They'll have to be the 4th seed, and they'll have to face whoever's the 6th seed. Now, whoever they see in that 6th spot, Dallas is going to lose. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter who comes out of the NFC East, the NFC East is going to lose that first game. They're going to lose that playoff game, and that's it. They're going to be one and done. I'm sorry. It just doesn't matter who it is. Because the Eagles, I don't care who they face. If they face the Minnesota Vikings, they're going to lose. If they face the Seattle Seahawks, they're going to lose. It doesn't matter. They're going to lose to one of those two teams. So, I mean, with that being said, we already know what it comes down to. Now, the Philadelphia defense has not been great this year. It just has not been great. It has not been great. And the problem comes down to is when you talk about when you start talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, what you start talking about is can Carson Wentz get it done? That's what it comes down to. It comes down to is what can the Eagles do to stop Dak Prescott, to stop Zeke? Because let's be real, the front four is not the same. Not like it was in their Super Bowl season and back in 2017. It's not the same team. That year, that defense was ridiculous. Their corners wasn't the greatest that year, and their linebackers wasn't that greatest that year either. But that D-line was ferocious. I mean, they were getting after it. Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, all those guys, they were straight up getting to the quarterback. They were stuffing the run. This year, that became the issue. The issue became they relied too heavily upon their D-line to stop guys. That was the problem. And it's like, and everybody knows this. Even the great New England Patriots know this. This is why their front seven has been so stellar this year. Because what happens is they were able to get a nice D-line that could get to the quarterback, but also have good linebackers to back up that D-line. And for the Eagles, this has always been their problem for years. They haven't had good linebackers, honestly, since Jeremiah Trotter. And everybody could call me crazy, but that was literally the last time the Eagles had a good linebacker. They haven't had a good linebacker since Jeremiah Trotter, and that was back in 2004, okay? That was 15 years ago. That was literally 15 years ago. They haven't had a good linebacker since. So, and that's what it comes down to. If it comes down to it, what I can foresee the Eagles losing this game to Dallas. And Dallas, let's just be honest for a second. I mean, Dak Prescott has been waiting for this. He needs to earn his money. I mean, he's a 4,000-yard quarterback, but they're 7-7. I mean, that's just utterly ridiculous to me. I mean, I don't understand how you're 7-7 and you're the Dallas Cowboys. I don't understand it. But, they've always been the accident waiting to happen. Everybody knows that. I mean, that's just what it is. Now, Dallas fans, of course, y'all are going to get mad, and that's fine. But that's just what it is. They've always been the accident waiting to happen because the truth is the Dallas Cowboys, under Jason Garrett, they just have not been a consistent football team. Now, if I had to choose a guy who I think should coach that team, I would choose either Mike McCarthy or I would choose Urban Meyer. Or even Lincoln Riley. I don't really like Lincoln Riley for this team because you're going to need somebody who could coach up the defense as well. And I always say this to people, defensive-minded coaches usually end up, and I say usually end up winning a lot of Super Bowls. I mean, look at Bill Belichick. Either defensive-minded coaches or special teams coaches, for some strange reason, usually end up winning Super Bowls. Look at Doug Peterson. Look at John Harbaugh. Look at Bill Belichick. Okay? I mean, that's what ends up happening. Mike Tomlin. These guys are Super Bowl winning coaches. And that's mainly because they know how to coach a football team. But with that being said, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I got Dallas winning this one. And this one's going to be tight. It's going to be 28-24. Dallas winning by 4. Okay? That's my score for this one. 28-24. Next game, we're going to look at the Vikings and Packers. So the Vikings and Packers, Let's pull that up real quick. So the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Vikings are going to be a very interesting football team to watch. If we could pull up that slide with the Vikings and Packers real quick. So with the Vikings and Packers, it's going to be a very, very interesting situation. So, the great thing about the Vikings and Packers is what happens is with the Packers, they're going to face a Vikings team in Minnesota. Okay? That's the funniest thing. And then with the Packers, what's going to happen is Aaron Rodgers has been playing at a high level. With the Packers, what's going to happen is the Vikings are going to have a hard time with Aaron Rodgers. So, and what's going to be crazy is Kirk Cousins has been playing at a crazy level, okay? Kirk Cousins has been playing at a crazy level. And the thing is with Kirk, now Kirk this year he's been a bit on fire, but we shall see exactly what happens with Kirk Cousins. Now this season, he's thrown for 3,481 yards and over 25 touchdown passes and only 5 interceptions, okay? Now, that's pretty good, okay? Against the Chargers, you know, he thrown a touchdown pass, 1 pick. He was 207 yards. Against Seattle, threw 276. He did pretty good. He's been doing pretty well this season, you know, and he's still got some years left in him, you know. He's only the same age as me. He's 31 years old. He's got plenty of football left in him outside of the fact that he left Washington. Now he's 10-4, marching into this game against the Packers. Okay, so this season, now if I was to tell you guys 3,485 yards, is there 485 yards and 25 touchdown passes, you automatically think, wow, this is a pretty darn good quarterback. But in reality, you know, everybody don't realize that's Kirk Cousins. That's Kirk. I mean, that's what it comes down to. 8,481 yards. And, you know, and this is the thing. I firmly believe that they could beat the Packers because this game is in Minnesota. Okay? This game is in Minnesota. The problem that I have with this game, this is going to be a trap game because somebody going to try to win this division. Because right now, and I've been saying this, and I just really wonder. Packers right now 11-3. Okay? If they win out, if the Vikings win out, it's going to come down to who can win the division. Because the last 2 games, they got the Packers got the Lions next, and they got the Vikings today. Okay? So they've already played their last home game, and they already beat the Chicago Bears. Okay? They already beat the Vikings earlier this year. But what the tiebreaker might come down to is the fact that the Packers lost to the Chargers, and the Vikings, on the other hand, beat the Chargers. So since they beat the Chargers, it's going to come down to strength of schedule and who lost to who. Now, Chicago didn't beat Green Bay. So with that being said, what it'll come down to is who won more division games. Who won more division games? Okay, and for Green Bay, that's going to be very interesting. Now, since the Vikings lost 2 division games already, they lost to Chicago and they lost to Green Bay. Green Bay, on the other hand, they only had 3 losses this year. Okay, they lost to the Niners, they lost to the Eagles, and they lost to the Chargers, but they never lost a division game. So even if the Packers lose, they just can't lose any more games, and they will still win the division because they have a better strength of division. So, Vikings, you need to win out. But you also need the Packers to drop a game in order for you to win the division. and also clinch that playoff berth. Simple as that. So that's what it's going to come down to. But I got the Vikings winning this one, even without Dalvin Cook. I got the Vikings winning this one. 21-14 Vikings at home. That's what I got. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, we're going to talk about some more stuff here on the show. So don't go anywhere on the No BS Show.
Hello and welcome to the Breakfast Mojo. I'm your host, Comedian Koi. We are back. Once again, this time it's King versus Clown. The clown, which we're talking about here, is none other than McDonald's hotcakes. And now we're going to also try the Burger King sweet syrupy stacks. Look at the box. Isn't that cute? Little box. Alright, so we're going to try and see which is going to be the preferred pancakes, McDonald's or BK, Burger King. So it's nice and hot, so let's see what happens here, folks. Let's see what I'm going to give a review. So they come with 3 stacks, as you can see. 3, oh look at the syrup just oozing. Okay. Try this. Let's make a comparison. I need some water. These are falling apart. McDonald's, they didn't fall apart at all, but these are can't really keep their form after pouring syrup on them. There's definitely a distinct taste between the two of them. Similar, but yet distinctly different. But I noticed that Burger King pancakes are a lot more sweeter by itself. The syrup, it really doesn't need syrup. It really does taste like a cake, literally. McDonald's, on the other hand, really not much to go off of. It just tastes like bread. It's really your preference, folks. Do you want hot bread? Or do you want a stack of cakes? Because that's what it tastes like to me. So here's for my review. I'm gonna give this a breakfast booty. I'm gonna give it a breakfast booty. It's a breakfast booty. And I'm gonna give McDonald's a breakfast blah. Because there's really nothing fantastic, even with the syrup added to it. And even without the syrup, it's really nothing fantastic. I could at least say that BK does have a distinct taste without the syrup, which is more sweet, if that's what you prefer. So, would it be the McClown or would it be the King? Let us know at the Breakfast Mojo on WBGR Entertainment. I'm your host, Comedian Koi. We'll have some more stuff coming your way. We're going to even visit a chef that's going to cook for us, and we're going to eat it, because that's what we do at the Breakfast Mojo.
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. An unprecedented event has occurred. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. The rematch is finally gonna happen. Y'all knew this was coming. I don't know why y'all act like y'all didn't know this was coming. The truth is, and I've been saying this for the longest, don't nobody want any smoke of that man Deontay Wilder, because it seems you saw what he did to King Kong Ortiz. Y'all saw what he did to King Kong, and on top of that, since we all know his boxing schedule has been released, he is now 42-0 with 41 knockouts in the heavyweight division. I want people to understand something. Okay? I want people to understand something. This dude is the truth. He is ridiculous. And I don't really foresee him really and truthfully losing to anybody, at least to anybody anytime soon. Okay? And what's really going to be interesting is on February 22nd, that day is finally going to be coming. So Wilder is the champion, okay? This is going to be for the WBC heavyweight title, okay? It'll be for the heavyweight title of the world. This man is going to go up against a man standing at a good 6'6", 260 pounds. Okay, then you got my man Deontay Wilder standing at a good 6'7", standing at 240 pounds. Two of the heaviest pound for pound fighters in the history of the boxing game. These two are going to go at it, and there's going to be a lot. There's a lot of punches thrown. We saw what happened the last time they fought. Wilder got 2 knockdowns, but Fury connected more, and they ended up in a draw. This time there will be no draw. Somebody gonna lose this fight. Somebody gonna lose. Anybody wants to comment? Please give me a call at 301-429-9247. That's gonna be the number to call this morning. Now I want people to understand something. Okay. This man is the truth. Okay. Let's talk about Deontay Wilder real quick, because I want people to understand exactly what kind of fighter you're dealing with Deontay Wilder. Wilder is the type of dude that I've been saying this for the longest. He's already been in enough fights, okay? 41 by knockout, okay? There's 40 fights by knockout. 41 fights, 42 fights in general. 41 fights, 1 draw. 41, okay? 41 and 0 and 1. Okay? Can't ask for a better record. Alright? Now I want people to understand something. This man, they call this man the Bronze Bomber for a reason. This is the same man that when he gets in the fight, and I keep telling people, you gotta watch it when he does that jab. This man comes from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Okay? He's from the deep depths of the bayou in Hickville, okay? He comes from way down there. This man when he steps into that ring, he's coming to lay you out, and that's it. He's coming to lay you out. I've seen a lot of fights, but I can tell you right now, this ain't gonna go the way people think it's gonna go. Okay, we saw what he did to King Kong Ortiz. Okay, at the Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. Okay. Tyson Fury right now, according to BoxRec.com, the fight might be set in Las Vegas, most likely at the MGM Grand for the big fight. However, it might change. It is subject to change because right now they got to go through the Boxing Commission for approval, which will probably happen sometime next month. Right after Christmas. So with that being said, I keep saying this to people over and over again. Now, Tyson Fury, 29-0-1. This dude ain't no slouch. Okay? Dude ain't no slouch. This dude is 29-0-1. Okay? 30 fights in his career. 20 by knockout. Okay? 9 wins by points. 1 draw. Obviously, the 1 draw came from Deontay Wilder. Okay? Now, interesting enough, both of these fighters are orthodox fighters. But see, Fury likes to be able to hit you with a number of different combo punches, particularly a lot of hooks and a lot of jabs. Whereas Wilder, he goes straight for the knockout punch. So he will hit you with a jab. Next thing you know, come with that right. Then he'll come with the right hook, come back with the left. And by the time you realize that left hook has hit you, it's already too late and the fight's over. And he's very good for that because that's unfortunate, because that's what Tyson Fury found out when he got knocked down twice. Okay, that's what it comes down to. Okay, now Wilder is 2 inches shorter than Fury.